Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. So today guys, I want to talk about the sun. I want to talk about solar storms. I want to talk about a lot of things and preparedness. Now, we just recently did a video where I was talking about a geomagnetic storm that was going to hit, I believe it was yesterday, and carry in through today. In that video, if you actually watched it all the way through, I said my projections were that the northern states that get the auroras will probably the ones be getting the power fluctuation issues. I never said it was the end of the world. So yeah, I was just reporting the news and telling people just to be ready. That's why we're preppers. Now let's go ahead and talk about the sun. Why am I worried about the sun? Well, the fact is, every 11 years the sun has a flip. Its magnetic poles, basically it's a giant magnet, north and south pole flip every 11 years. Okay, north becomes south, south becomes north, and every 11 years it does the exact opposite. So as of 2020, we hit the bottom of the solar minimum. All right, now we are increasing in solar storms. The reason why is because now is revamping up on our solar system. So our sun is going to be creating a lot more storms. When I say storms, geomagnetic storms, coronal mass ejection, solar flares, things like that. That is actual science. Okay, now this uptake will continue, I believe it is till June of 2025. So during this time, we're going to be seeing a lot more storms, a lot more intensity from our sun. Now, with that being said, guys, be prepared. All right. So with solar storms, coronal mass ejections, Carrington Event, what are you going to expect? Power outages. Plain out simple. Blackouts, power outages, internet failure, communication satellite failure. That's what you can expect. Okay. Now, with this stuff, there is some precautions and preparations we can do as preppers. All right, so we've talked about alternative power. All right, whether it be a cheap generator, which we have, gasoline generator, they have tri-gas, they have diesel, they have propane, they got, they got different types of generators that are out there. I think it's interesting that California, I saw this on Marfugo News last night, Marfugo TV, California is going to be pushing for a mandate to make emission-free generators, and it's going to be a requirement. Basically, they just took the cheap option for people to get prepared out of the hands of people that doesn't have much money. Do you think those things are going to be cheap? No, they're not. I didn't even know we had the technology even to make emission-free gasoline generators, but apparently we do. But I'm going to guarantee you it's going to be expensive as hell. All right, so we're talking about gasoline generators. Store fuel up. All right, you can get fuel additives to fuel stabilizers to make your fuel last longer. That's an option. Next option is a portable power system, a portable solar generator. We've shown those things are not cheap, guys. We're affiliated with a couple of the brands you can see in the links in our description. We make a percentage of all sales. All right, but it's something that we preppers, a lot of us, actually invest into. It's something you can look at. I'm not saying go run out and buy one today. I'm not. As a matter of fact, you don't have to do anything I say. It's up to you. I take my preparedness very seriously. Next up, solar. I'm not talking about that solar farm back there, guys. All right, we've talked about that in the past. That solar farm is just that. It's not even hooked up to the house. That solar farm is for a company. They basically got to build there, gave one of my family members a set rate on their power bill for the next 20 years, and they get to sell power back to the power company. That's what that is. Don't do that. Don't do that. Instead, guys, invest in solar panels. Now, I do have a description popping up there somewhere for you guys. It's a card where I go over our solar system that we use in our trailer. This is the same design solar system we're going to be using when we start homesteading. We have a battery bank. We have inverters. We have charge control. We use EMP shield for protecting on our solar system. This is what we use on a daily basis. We built this for our trailer. This is a 6x12 cargo trailer that my wife and I live out of. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not rich. Okay. I'm very skinny on the financial budget, but I make it happen every little bit. I mean, we're paying about $80 for 100-watt panels. Now, prices probably dropped down a little bit since the last time I purchased, but we started building piece by piece. That's how we did ours. So a solar grid is another option because you can always produce power. I did see a comment on, well, if it snows, your solar panel is going to be covered. No, this is true. This is why you need to make sure your panels are on an array that you can get easy access to. Let me just show you a real quick example of an array. There, that's an array. Okay, you can actually make a pole with a dust broom and you can sweep off your snow. That's an array. Or if you have to build it onto a house, hey, build your scaffolding system with a deck system on the back so you can walk up the back side and you can actually just sweep everything off. Use caution being on the roof. I have to put that disclaimer in because somebody might fall off the roof. So don't fall off the roof. Another option is wind turbines. Now this is something that we invested in as well because our property is in Wyoming, which is known for wind all the time. As a train rider, I went through Wyoming many times, and yes, it's windy. I've been to Chicago, which is windy. Wyoming's windy. So thinking ahead, we decided to invest into wind turbines. Now, excuse me, I'm still coughing stuff up. I'm a lot better, but I'm still got stuff in my chest. Wind turbines is a good option because you're constantly producing power day and night. So that's actually going to be integrated in our solar system in Wyoming. You got to be thinking ahead on things. Now I have seen the comments of methane generators. Hey, if that's the route you want to go with, you go for it. Or you can make your own compost and produce your own methane, things like that. I do know the systems are not cheap, and when things break on it, it's also going to be difficult to find parts as far as scavenging in SHTF. Now you can go ahead and get a lot of replacement parts like we did with our gasoline generators, with our solar systems, and we put those replacement parts back. We put them in Faraday cages so we always have something ready to go. And Faraday cages bring me to the next point. If you have electronics that you plan on using during a power outage from a coronal mass ejection, get it protected. Our vehicle is covered with EMP shield. There'll be a pop-up there, guys. For those that have purchased EMP shield through us, we do appreciate it. We get a percentage of that. It does not cost you anymore, and you get to save $50 off on your purchase. So we got that on our vehicle. We got it on our solar system for the trailer. We've shown that. So we do appreciate that. Now there are other steps you can take. You can get Faraday bags. My buddy Ryan, there should be a pop-up there for you with a picture and everything. He deals with Faraday bags from Trex. These things are pretty awesome. They're not cheap, but if you want good quality, it's not going to be cheap. I'm still trying to get my hands on one because they're about 300 bucks. This thing here, he's actually showing where he's putting his solar generators in these bags. They're large enough to protect those expensive solar generators, because let's face it, those things are not cheap. Next up, I have a pop-up there for you guys. That is do-it-yourself Faraday cages. Now, with those do-it-yourself Faraday cages, guys, I have only been able to test out radio waves. In other words, I put a radio in the box. I tie a walkie-talkie mic'd up inside of it, and I seal it. If it cuts out the transmission, I know the radio waves are not getting through. Okay, but an EMP blast has multiple stages. So I don't know if it's going to work against an EMP blast. It's just the simple way of some type of protection I've been able to manufacture and do myself. So there you go. There is a YouTube channel. I believe his name is EMP Doctor or EMP Disaster Doctor. Canadian Prepper had him on his show. Also, Ghost Prepper has had him on his channel. This guy's very smart, former NASA. He actually does testing, EMP generator he's able to oscillate and all this stuff, all this technical stuff on EMP protection. Freaking amazing channel you get to check out. There will be a link in the description for his channel, guys. I will find it for you. I definitely recommend go check him out, guys. He's got a lot of knowledge in this stuff. But he makes his own equipment to protect things. So, worth a check. So, why are you so worried about all this stuff? Well, the power goes out, guys. Everything goes with it. Food delivery, water purification, waste, heating, air conditioning, just everything. We're built off of power. Our whole society. I've read the comments, well, I've lived 20 years without power, I'll be fine. Good for you. That is awesome. But for the rest of Americans that have never been through that and have no knowledge of what they're going to do, most won't make it. They said, what was it, 90% of Americans would die within the first year, is what the authorities were saying. That's a lot, guys. Most of these, however, is going to be because of medication. There won't be medication delivery or manufacturing. This won't just be, if it's a natural occurrence like a coronal mass ejection, it's not going to be just America. It's going to be across the globe. All right? So there won't be medication manufacturing. What about those people that need medical equipment that runs off power? You can't produce power, you can't get your equipment to work. This is why I say work on alternative power sources. Battery banks, things like that, guys. You need to have these things, especially if you're dependent on this. Is it cheap? No, it's not. Preparedness isn't cheap. Now, we've shown budget prepping, $5 a week, things like that. Yes, absolutely. But when you start getting into alternative power sources and things, guys, it gets expensive. Start saving up. I'm not saying go get a mortgage, go get a loan. I'm not saying that. Start saving up. I didn't get a loan. I didn't get a mortgage to get our stuff. We start putting a little bit back. Each payday we put a little bit back, and it took a while. Now we're still doing it. We're still doing it. We're not where we want to be at, but I take strides each payday and work towards getting it. So it can be done, guys. In a way, this isn't to scare anybody, but you know, I do want to light a fire underneath your butt. The sun's active. It's going to continue to be really active to 2025. That's the projection. I think, like I said, June of 2025. You don't want to be there when the power goes out and you don't have a way of generating power for your family. You don't have a way of heating a home. You don't have a way of cooling down a home. Down here in Florida, summers will be deadly in the summertime. No air condition. Arizona, Nevada, swamp coolers, because the humidity is different, without a way of moving air. It's going to be horrible. Most of the places we live in America is because we have electricity. We have the ability to change our environment inside our homes, make it habitable to live. Habitable, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying. We have that ability. When that ability is taken from us, then what? This is another reason why we push so much on this channel about outdoor survival. When things happen, guys, you need to know how to survive with nothing. Can you live without power? Sure you can. Some people will not be able to live without power. For the main reason I talked about, medical. Medical alone is going to take a lot of people out. Anyway, guys, something to think about. You need to be worried about preparing. Like I said, there's all kind of different methods of doing it. Just save up, put a little bit back. I believe the sun is a great threat to this country, to the world, to us. I believe it is. We are past due of a Carrington event. We're past due. The science is there, the proof is there, we're past due, it will happen. When is it happening? It should have actually already happened. That's how far behind we are. All right, guys, talk to y'all later.